Hi guys, this is Jean Holden, producer of the show, and I just wanted to take a minute to let you know where you can find us on the internet. Please go to ThatMan on Fatman.com. There you can find out all the things you need to know about the show. You'll be able to find links to the podcast, to YouTube, to Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram and Snapchat. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Today's show is brought to you by Death Wish Coffee. Death Wish Coffee, the strongest coffee in the world.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and I want to urge you to make a generous donation to the Wayne Foundation so we can stop the sexual trafficking of children. Do it, or I'll find you.
And don't forget to check out our good friend of the show, Mark Live, over at chundertunes.com for all your podcast animation needs. ThatMan on Fatman is recorded with a Zoom H6 handy recorder. Zoom for creators.
Disclaimer. The show you're about to experience is for entertainment purposes only. The hosts use mature language and conversation just like in most of life. If you're too uptight, this might not be for you. All that said, we really do hope you enjoy the show. But if you don't enjoy it, expect a nice big shipment of my joyous Joker juice on your doorstep in the very near future. Toodles!
As the world's biggest Kevin Smith fan, I appreciate the fact that somebody finally made a podcast about that interesting motherfucker. So, yes, you absolutely did the right thing. It was smart. I appreciate it. I think you were right to do that.
Okay, what has two thumbs and is a huge fan of Kevin Smith? ThatMan!
Yes, I am that man.
What are we going to do about the pancake master?
We need a costumed vigilante is what we need. Justice can't be served unless it's being fought outside the system.
Here's what we're going to do, eh?
Oh, shit. It's that man. Who is he? He's that man. He's talking. What should we do?
Oh, there he goes by in the Thatmobile.
The what? Thatmobile, his car. Go get him, that man.
Well, once upon a time, a regular man read a book written by the Fat Man. Tough shit, written by old Kev Smith. Kev said go out and start a podcast, and so I did, and I had a real blast. But my obsession was driving my co-host nuts. Didn't want to bring the podcast down. Needed Porkchop Murphy to hang around. So I created a new show with one heck of a plan, and I'd call that show ThatMan on Fatman, because we're going to chat about Kevin Smith. That's right, let's talk about old Kev Smith.
Yes, please note that use of all sound effects is done ironically.
Hey, kids, come on over here. I got a joke for you. Hey, what are you wearing? Oh, you scare me. You're one scary-looking dude. Hey, happy Halloween. Trick or treat. Mommy always said, beware the clown.
All right, we want to take a moment to talk about Death Wish Coffee. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and get over to deathwishcoffee.com. And there you can buy the strongest coffee known to man without a prescription.
The world's strongest coffee ever.
Yes, as proudly displayed on my wife's sweatshirt over there.
Yes, on my body,
yes.
On my mug,
yes,
on
it's
my
mug.
K-cups. Not
Yes, and you'll know them by their telling sign of the skull and crossbones that
It's
tells
so
you
good.
exactly what you're in for. It's that used to be the international symbol for poison, but now it is the symbol for good damn coffee.
It's awesome. without milk, with milk. You don't really need it because it's strong.
But
it's
not bitter?
Not bitter. So you don't even need milk. You don't even need sugar, but you can add it if you'd like. It's just really, really the perfect, strongest, most awesome coffee.
Become a junkie of Death Wish, just like the Anderson Council. And
we got them hooked.
Again, deathwishcoffee.com. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it.
The children of the night. What the fuck's going on with that cat? That was weird. What the fuck is that? Sounds like someone's trying to shove a cat up their ass. Ooh. Beware the children of the night. What the sweet music? Why am I talking like this? This is made up. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, that's much better. Welcome to ThatMan on Fatman, our special Halloween edition. I'm your host, Bane. With me here in the studio tonight is co-host extraordinaire, Gene Holden. You want to say that again?
Hi, guys.
There we go. Sorry. Yes. Ooh. And how are you this Halloween weekend? Why am I talking so creepy? I'm Bane, goddammit.
I'm really good.
Really?
Really
Good.
Some of those screams are like really scary.
That's a lovely, lovely voice.
Aww.
I'm talking about the screams. Well, since it's Halloween, I would like to say...
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
That is why I am the official bad guy of Halloween, yes, indeed.
Are you?
Yes. I can't dial into my voice today because we're in a very different setup, but... I'm enjoying this very much.
Calm down, Doctor.
What's wrong?
I'm getting in like in trance by the scary, creepy.
Do you believe that the music is
Crashing displayed with no survivors?
No, it's creepy. Especially like the wolf sound. Ooh, that one. What is that?
It's called public domain sounds.
Horrible. Oh my god.
You know what's really horrifying?
What?
Grace. Fuck me and make me forget we got a stupid kid. Coming, John.
There you go. The children of the night. What sweet music they make.
Smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers. Pack her ass, my good man. Time to kick back, drink some beers, and smoke some weed.
There's a long way to go for that joke, I must admit. Yes.
Grace! Grace!
Ah, yes. So, today on the Halloween show, besides all these ironic sound effects, like drifting from one voice to another voice to another.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Scott Holden here on the
Hey.
show. So this is our little Halloween thing. Each year we like to do at least something. we figure that you guys will be listening to this over the Halloween weekend and be in the spirit, so we're helping you get there by putting creepy public domain noises in the background. Yes, that's right. There you go. So, to that effect, I think we've got a cool show for you which actually has very little to do with Halloween, but it is quite scary.
My name is Guy LaPointe.
Not that scary, but it's pretty
Oh, my God.
Now, today, who is our guest today? It's your favorite. You like saying his name.
Michael Joseph Consolmagno.
Yes, I am that man.
Yes, that's right. Michael Joseph Consolmagno is our guest. And Michael Joseph, why is Michael Joseph, what are his bona fides? Why is he important to us, and why is he cool to the show, and why would he be important to the listeners out there?
Because he is a part of our movie team. He is a director of photography.
Keep her close.
He is also a part of the Marvel Netflix family, and he works on set as a set dresser. Right?
Yes.
Can you help me along?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And he's awesome, and he's got a great name, and he's awesome.
Of course.
Yes, Michael Joseph Consolmagno is and he also has a podcast.
And he has a podcast.
What's the name of that podcast, my dear? Oh my God! Two mics, one mic. Boy, you're tired.
2 mics, 1 mic.
You must realize that usually Jean does not function well past bedtime, which is like 8.
I'm doing good.
It's like 8:59.
2 mics,
and
1
she
mic.
just got home. Yes.
Yes, 2
So
mics, 1 mic.
She's shot out of the camera.
And both the mics are adorable and sweet.
And you want to know? Here's the funny thing about this whole thing. At this point, what she doesn't know is that she is responsible for the SMed lines. And so, what she also doesn't know is I have a whole new theme for it. But you're just going to have to bear with me a second while I line everything up.
I don't think so, fellas. I made that record once. All right, let's try it.
Hey, what the fuck is this? This is not my season. Why are you playing this now? God, talk about thin. The thinnest of all links. You're going with Witch Doctor to try and get me in here? Christmas is my season, not Halloween. And this is cheap. This is a very cheap ploy. So fuck you guys. I'm going home. I'll see you in a couple months. Then we'll sing about Christmas, Christmas up my ass. Go fuck you. Happy Halloween.
And there you have a special little check-in. I knew the witch doctor would lure him in here. Just to piss us off. Just to piss him off. I mean, what do you do? I thought it was a nice little trick. Well, on that note, I think it's time that we cut over to our guest. It's a really good interview. It's quite long, but we talk... we really geek out about Marvel Netflix. Mm-hmm. Not just about Luke Cage. I mean, we keep drifting in and out of Luke Cage talk. And it's good. We've gone a couple weeks now. I mean, spoilers are... If you haven't seen it yet, it's your own fault. You've had plenty of time. We even held off here. But we're really glad that Michael could join us to talk about this. He also talks about how talk about Fast. The show he was working on is wrapped already.
I know.
It's Iron Fist.
Crazy.
And he's already on to Defenders, motherfucker. So that was all shocks to me.
Fun.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoy this. It's a little extended interview. Without any further ado, I give you
Michael Joseph Consolmagno. Hey, stop that. And now, here's our guest.
Junior. We forget that part.
Yeah, it's like Sean Connery in Last Crusade.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
How's the fam?
Everybody's okay. We were going to carve pumpkins later today.
Ooh, nice.
So I was going to finish getting my Halloween costume together and carve pumpkins. Very cool.
What are you going to be for Halloween, sir?
Well, I'm going to be a version of Spider-Man called Spider-Man Noir, which is for the geek crowd. I don't intend to get recognized too much, but the ones that know, and that's what I care about.
Yeah, I know it. It's funny because you're the second guest in 2 weeks who has introduced that they will be sporting a variant costume.
Yeah, a variant superhero.
Last week, which will be dropping this week as we discuss this, but Big Daddy Jimmy V told us that he will be dressed at a con coming up, I think this week. He's going as Deadpool Kevin Smith.
Deadpool Kevin Smith, so he's going completely original.
Yeah, yes. It's really good too.
So, and he sent us a picture over the week, and it's essentially, it's Deadpool wearing the white hat over the mask, of course.
Yeah,
wearing the white hat and the jersey. And the jorts. And so it's like Deadpool, as if Deadpool decided to walk around as Kevin Smith.
Is he doing a fake beard over the mask?
That was it. He sent us a picture. It did not have the beard. He's like, to beard or not to beard.
Yeah, he was in he was doing like a challenge.
I think it's more Deadpool. It'll be more Deadpool without the beard.
Yeah.
Because it would be Deadpool like doing Kevin Smith, but still being Deadpool.
Yeah, if you put the beard on,
it's
just it may just look cheesy. But
it's an option. He can have like a Velcro beard, maybe. Try it out.
Yes.
Or he could just carry around a bong or something like that.
Yeah.
And right now, for those listening, we're joined by Michael Joseph Consolmagno. He's a set dresser for Marvel Netflix, as well as our DP for the documentary we're shooting.
What's the podcast?
Yep. As well as director of his own films, and
and he directed you in Shooting Clerks.
Yes, a second unit director for Shooting Clerks, which premiered last night.
Yes,
and is all abuzz in the internet.
And won an award. It got good reviews. I didn't catch up yet to see how the reaction was.
It won an award.
It won an award. It won like an Indie Spirit Award down at Orlando Film Festival. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, Orlando's good people down there. Jerry Cavallaro is a good guy. He does the programming for that festival down in Orlando.
I was so close to going we were so close to going. It's just that the LA trip really kind of wiped us out.
Yeah.
And then if we were to go down, it would be me alone, and I really didn't want to go alone. Not without. And we just celebrated our 20-year anniversary, and just
look at that cheap applause. Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. I really just explained, the mindset of why we didn't go.
But absolutely, I understand. Like I would have loved to have gone down to Orlando, but it's very tough. My wife's a teacher; she can't get off in October. I have 2 young kids. And it also is coming around to Jersey relatively soon.
Yeah.
So
the thing that sucks is they were because I ended up talking to your friend. I don't know if I told you this.
Oh, Jerry, no, I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I was talking to I was talking to the festival on Twitter, getting details about hey, I'm in the movie and I'm thinking of going down. What's the deal? What do I have to do to get tickets? But long story short, the person I was talking with was Jerry.
Oh, nice.
And it's funny, he didn't introduce himself until I said, well, besides being in the film, I'm also a director, and I know that our DP told me that we have a connection via Jerry from, Staten Island, blah, blah, blah. And he said, this is Jerry. Oh, my God. So, and then he was like, dude, we'll roll out the red carpet for you and all that. So that's what I missed out on.
Yeah, he's good people. If anybody ever gets the chance, he did make a film himself called Stuck Like Chuck. And if you're a fan of Kevin Smith, it's definitely worth your while to hunt down because it's in that vein, early Kevin Smith vein. It's a really well done independent film that you could tell wasn't made for a lot of money, but the heart's there and it's really fun film to watch. I'm promoting from a friend.
Yeah.
That's so. Yeah, well, since you mentioned it, the premiere for the New York show screening is November 10th. I'm not sure where it is in New York City, but you can go to ThatManOnFatman.com where I have all the stuff up there and available. Well, or you can get tickets to the premiere in New Jersey the next day. I know where that one is because it's Atlantic Highlands, Twin Cinemas, which is where Kevin's dad actually brought Kevin to see movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So
wow,
there's a whole nostalgia. And they actually shot some second unit stuff in that theater as well. So
yeah, awesome. It's fantastic. It's nice to see that the legacy of Kevin Smith moves on with people still pushing films forward. I'm sure when he went to Sundance with this black and white film and was surrounded by guys like Tarantino and stuff, he never thought there'd be a biopic about him making a film before there was one about Tarantino.
That's exactly what he said in his little write-up.
Yeah. Before there was one about Tarantino.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Well, if you've seen The Snowball Effect, you kind of know that the story of Clerks is as fascinating as
it really is.
Clerks itself, and I feel the same way about Tusk too.
Well, and you know what it is too? It's an underdog story, and people love that.
Yeah,
people love that. I mean, I know I do. People that always root for the underdog always just get such a great feeling from.
That's why I'm voting for Trump, the underdog.
It's unbelievable.
It's a classic Rocky story.
It's
it really
unbelievable.
is. It's, somebody that's counted out, and he could able to stand with the big boys.
I'm just gonna grab the election by the vagina, by the pussy.
By the pussy.
Sorry, I got formal there for a moment.
You don't use it by
forgot myself.
You don't use it by the real name.
We've been having a lot of fun with that for the last few weeks.
God.
You can't not. I mean,
I know.
No, you can't. Now, listen, SNL is creaming themselves over this election.
I know,
The debate coverage stuff has been brilliant.
And I'd rather watch that than any MSNBC or CNN. I'd rather just watch SNL.
Honestly, at this point, it's like people were telling me, are you guys watching the debates? I'm like, no. I said, these two people have been in the public eye for usually I watch a debate because I don't really know who's running. When Barack was running versus Romney, you kind of know the names, but I didn't really know who Romney was. I don't live in Massachusetts, but these two individuals running for president, everybody already knows. They can't be undecided voters. You already know these people your whole life.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
So what's the point of watching these debates? You're not looking for information. You're just looking for the jokes.
And undecided.
So I'd rather just go to SNL.
Right. And undecided. Give me a break.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Get with it, people. Impossible. It's impossible. I love Bane. Bane, you're so topical.
Well, it's just been announced that I'm going to be Donald Trump's new running mate because Pence is stepping down.
He is?
Yes.
Why?
Because now it's going to be Trump and Bane.
Ooh. So, what happened to Pence? Did he get scared? Was he, did he decide that Trump wasn't his guy?
He realized that Trump is crashing this plane.
Yeah.
With no survivors.
That's so original.
That's so funny.
So original.
All right, enough of that.
Yeah. So, I felt like I was listening to Education right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason we brought you on was because we want to talk about, obviously, the huge Netflix phenomenon that actually brought the servers down for one weekend when it first dropped. We were originally supposed to have some guys on from this hip-hop...
EMA hip-hop podcast.
Yeah. But apparently they bailed on us at the last minute. But
trying to get all of them together, scheduling conflict. But we'll get them back and hope maybe there's a chance we'll be able to get them back soon.
Well, I was going to say, in the future, just let them know that, better one represent
one
than...
is better
than no one.
Right.
So, but anyway, we got plenty to talk about because we got Luke Cage up the bunghole.
We do.
And you're someone who got to work on it, and now all the secrets can be told.
Yes, all the secrets can be told.
That are fit to tell.
It's already out, so my NDA is no longer in effect because everybody's seen the show. I can say one secret that it's not in the show. There was scenes shot in Luke Cage that were cut and had to do with his backstory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're going to introduce it later, but they never brought up the fact that he was they may change this part of the story. In the scenes that we shot, he was actually a police officer in Georgia when he was framed. So he was...
Which you kind of got, but they didn't really... I mean, you didn't see it.
Yeah. Like he was, we shot a whole scene with him with the beard and the afro, as you kind of saw him in Seagate.
Yeah.
But in a Georgia State Police uniform, getting handcuffed in the Georgia precinct.
Man.
Which was basically one wall we built on a stage next to, and it was a real quick snippet that I think was supposed to be included in his backstory, but for some reason or another, they cut it. Whether they're thinking of changing that part of his backstory or it just was for time or didn't fit, I don't know. But that's something that might rear its head coming up with Defenders, which we start filming on Monday.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Tomorrow.
Okay, now, you're not, obviously you're not on the Defenders cast, because you're working on...
I am working on the sets right now. We're putting back together the Alias. Yeah, we've been putting back together the last 2 weeks Jessica's apartment and investigation
Jessica
living area.
So are you still
Jessica
shooting
Jones.
Iron Fist?
Iron Fist has been done for 3 weeks.
So they're wrapped.
Yeah, we're wrapped. I got my gifts and everything.
Wow. I can't remember if you told me that already or not.
Wait, I didn't hear that. You got your what?
He's got his wrap gifts and everything.
Oh, what do you get? It's like a wrap gift. Are you allowed to tell us?
I got a pair of snow gloves with the Dragon of Shaolao on the back of them. I got 2 T-shirts, one Colleen Wings Dojo, and another one that has the Shaolao Dragon on it. And I got a really nice jacket that says Iron Fist Netflix on it.
Fucking nice.
All right, so before we'll definitely get you to tease, if you can, something of Iron Fist before we leave. But let's get on to Luke Cage because all right, so here is my overall standing of how I would rank the Marvel Netflix series in like an order of how much I like each one.
Okay, from best to worst.
But here's the thing. My first caveat. They're all awesome.
Yeah. Worst is like the best.
Exactly. So if process of elimination, if you're going to stack these suckers,
hard.
eventually, one's going to have to fall into a slot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a sense, you could say that they're all at the number 1 slot, but these are all number 1 points.
Yes.
Number 1.1, number 1.2.
Yeah.
So, but I would say that of all of them, the one that I've really liked the most, I really like Jessica Jones.
I really did too. I do.
The most, just because David Tennant is so amazing, and the story is not classic comic book setup. You had Luke Cage in there too, and I just like the psychological aspects of it
and
all,
she's great.
and the underpinnings of it, and it's really well done.
Yeah, and she's perfection in that role.
Then Daredevil.
They just casted her perfectly.
Which Daredevil?
This season. The first season. The first season.
Yeah.
Then Luke Cage. Then Daredevil season 2.
I kind of agree. I would just swap the first 2. I feel like maybe I was too inside baseball for Jessica.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay. It's a tough pick there too because Daredevil was first.
I like the first season of Daredevil.
And I really did get into Daredevil. It's a tough call, but I just like it. Call it the color tone of Jessica Jones.
Well, they went more stylized, definitely, with Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And the first Daredevil is really dark physically, lighting-wise. It's really dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and the second season I read of Jessica Jones is all women writing.
Yeah, or directing.
Directing. I apologize.
I can't speak to that just yet. I know, the showrunner stated that, but I could just tell you from what I've seen on the New York end. This could be an LA thing. On the New York end, we have Punisher going right now. That's been shooting for a couple of weeks, and we have Defenders, which starts Monday. And when production teams come into the New York thing, they spend a good 2 months before we start shooting. And there's been no talk of Jessica season 2 as of yet. Okay. Now, maybe Marvel behind the scenes is gearing up to keep Christian around like they just kept Finn around, to jump right from Defenders right into a season 2 of Jessica. But in terms of hearing things about the production ramping up, we're not going to be doing that until Defenders ends, which is 8 months from now.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen in those 8 months to change. But that just could be her putting her 2 cents in and pushing the issue with guys like Jeff Loeb and Jim Corey, who are the EPs.
Right.
So you are officially on Defenders now.
Oh, no, I've been officially on Defenders. I've had my paycheck already. I've had my paychecks already switched.
Correction, he has been.
Yes, he's got his button.
Yes, I got my button.
Been there, done that.
All right, so Luke Cage, So Luke Cage drops Now, again, so my perspective comes from a comic book fan, but I still love Luke Cage. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me is how it's blowing up and how it just blew up on Netflix bigger than the other shows. And I guess that also feeds into, and something I guess being, who I am, I didn't pay it much mind, but like, I guess it fits into the political landscape now like never before.
You know what's so funny about that? We wrapped Luke Cage in March.
Yeah.
So when you talk about political landscapes, I'm sure, Chio is a really nice guy. He's a comic book fan. He's the showrunner. I had the great pleasure of getting to meet him a couple of times while he was working. Showrunners come in and out, but he was more of a hands-on showrunner. It never felt political on set.
Yeah, it never felt like Black Lives Matter or anything like that.
No, it never did. When you watch it.
But that's the thing. It's the source material. You don't even. Yeah. That's why I think for us, it doesn't dawn on us. Because this is where it came from. You know what I mean? Like, this is the birth of the hero. This is where it came from. Took some liberties with the origin, but it's pretty true to fashion.
Yeah, I mean, basically they just took, instead of him originally being from Harlem, they put him in Georgia instead. Yeah, so he's a traveling hero instead of like a homegrown guy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't even matter because he explains it at the end. It's like, I'm Italian, right? So I feel a connection to my cultural basis in Italy. So if you grow up African American, you'll have a cultural basis in Harlem no matter, I guess, where you're from, because you've heard about this place, as this artistic, cultural background for your people. So it doesn't matter where he was from.
It's funny you say this because I've been thinking about this a lot.
Yeah.
It's only in this region where people who are Americans call themselves Italians.
Well, I do have family over there, so I feel a little bit more inclined. But I'm an American first of Italian descent. So instead of saying Italian American.
But even what most people around here, when you hear, hey, I'm Italian, what they're saying is, hey, I am an American of Italian descent, and I went through this experience, and so I identify in this really weird way that is not really Italian and it's not really American. It's somewhere in between.
Yes, yeah, of course. It's the melting pot. Our culture is intermingled with others that were here. But it is funny that you say that. It's like, and I've brought this up in my own.
They say that's why the New York accent is so unique because it's such a mishmash of like English, German,
It's everywhere. Yeah. But race is such a funny thing for me because I never felt the white thing until I went away to Michigan State and I saw what real white people are, and I was even like judged for being
Catholic,
white, but white but not white kind of thing.
Isn't that that's like I've noticed that too. That's another like Northeast Catholic experience. When you step out of this region, you suddenly realize, wow, the world isn't. The outside reason you're Christian, but you're not Catholic.
Well, like
what
if you go
mean?
down south, like we were down south, where it was like Baptist, all different types of people.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different.
It's an eye opener.
Yeah.
Go on. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's race is always it's always a funny conversation because people want to make it black and white, but if you grew up in New York, it's very hard to make it black and white because everybody has a culture. It's not just this homogeneous milk of being white. It's like, I grew up with friends, like you said, people identify themselves as Italian, Irish, Jewish.
Yes.
But
the truth is they're none of those things. They've never been to Ireland. They've never been to Italy.
Yeah. No, of course. But it's a lot of people have.
I hate to say it. It's like a fetish. It really is. It's sort of like a fetishistic thing where I'm really into this part of my heritage. And now they have these heritage commercials where like, hey, I thought I was Italian. Turns out I'm fucking German.
So stupid. But there is cultural differences. If you go into people's homes, even though they've been here 4 generations or so, the family dynamics from family to family are different. It's not, So there's things that do hold over, but like you said, it's not true to the country that they're actually claiming. Of course, the conversation
it's very New York.
We're going on crazy on this. Well, we're talking about Luke Cage.
Well, because it makes sense.
It brings up more than just black versus white, is what I'm saying. It brings up your own identity issues.
It really does.
Questions of race and of. Well, have you seen anyone around the city wearing bullet shot sweatshirts yet?
You know what's so funny? I was just thinking that. I said, Luke Cage Netflix is the cheapest Halloween costume people can make this year. All you have to do is take an old sweatshirt and just make holes in it. You know, put your goatee on.
And are they selling them? That would be my next question. Is Marvel Netflix like, they should market those, man. I mean, people bought ripped holy jeans. Why not bullet hole Luke Cage jackets?
They might not look the same as Mike Coulter in it, though, but, you know, you could try.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. He's a big friendly guy.
Babe.
That dude is a babe, totally.
Now, Scott, that's on his list.
Yeah, we were on this show, Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, which is a very popular podcast, and since we were on, we got to pick the top 5. You pick a top 5.
Like,
what the subject is.
and everyone.
So we went with
5.
same-sex crushes.
Yeah,
whatever
so
that
Luke
meant
Cage,
to you.
Luke Cage is on Scott's list.
So I represented.
Yeah, represented Mr. Cage.
I'm sorry, I'm more of a pretty boy type. Even though I don't go the way you guys go, but I'm more of a Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
I'm more of a Ben Affleck.
Yes.
Hey,
Damon.
Chris Evans was number 1.
Chris
on my
Evans.
list.
Now that is a good pick. It's my one too.
Specimen.
I think he's like the universal one for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with him.
It's the attitude of being Captain America. It's the good guy.
He's so
perfect.
He really is.
He's
he
perfection.
Really pulls that. Like you feel
I
that.
know.
That. Like he's good at being that.
Smooth. He's
He's
pretty.
the Christopher Reeve of our time.
Yes.
He's a good guy that you just can't help but to love. Yeah. You know, they say everybody loves a bad boy, but a true good soul always is better.
He's so
okay,
good.
now pivoting back to Luke Cage for a second.
Yes.
So now, everybody, I remember when we shot Kevin, even he said, I watched the first 7 episodes. Now, obviously, I'm a little bit of spoilers, but I won't dump the beans. 7 seemed to be the magic number because there was an 8, there was a big, change up or a big, whatever you want to call it.
It was definitely, I know when we were making it, I don't have a ton of conversations with the showrunners or the head guys, but I get a chance to look at the scripts at some points. And when we were doing Soledad's apartment, Chio was there picking out plaques for Rosario Dawson's characters of all these different diplomas on the wall.
Oh, she was great in this season.
She was fantastic.
She was just awesome.
She's made the best deal out of this Marvel thing.
She's got the fucking deal of Captain Cold on the other show.
Yeah, she's the winner. She's the winner, hands down. Forget all these other clowns.
She's got the floater. She can be on all those. She's got like a season deal where she can be in any one of them, and she floats. And yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's great.
She's
but basically,
smart.
he was there, and I said to him, hey, I know, the show really pivots in the middle of the season. He goes, yeah, I wanted to make it feel like comic book format, like you have your first 6 issues, and then you have your next 6 issues, kind of thing.
It definitely felt that way.
Yeah, and it was definitely going for that type of feel. And when I watched it, it was interesting because it works in the comics because you have this month-long wait. And this is what kind of, I think, makes it number 3 for me out of all of them. Because it does make the whole season feel a little disjointed, but it was intended to feel that way. But as a viewer, you kind of go into the season going, this is one graphic novel kind of thing. Instead of 2 separate graphic novels.
Yeah.
Which is how it was structured.
But if you did binge it, what it felt like was, this is the Game of Thrones-like surprise. You know what I mean? More than it was necessarily, I'm switching books. Because, I mean, you were still on the same path. It was just like, now we're dealing with the real bad guy.
The big bad behind the scenes kind of thing.
Yeah. But, and I think that if I was going to be critical of Daredevil season 2, same kind of deal there. They were definitely telling 2 different storylines, and they told the Punisher one really well, but then as a result, I think the Elektra story felt a little more wedged in.
Yeah, I always felt that Daredevil season 2 was unfair to Daredevil because he really became a secondary character in his own show.
Yeah. And that sucks. And that's like, oh no, we're not going down the Batman model, are we?
Yeah. Because I think they forget that once you get past the origin, these guys are still interesting. I mean, they have been around some characters have been around for 75 years. There's been a lot more stories than just the origin story. So stop kicking yourself in the ass and saying, we got to keep introducing new characters because that's all people are interested in. And tell a really good story about your main character.
Exactly.
Just focus.
Focus, damn it. Focus. Hey, you're there. Tell them.
I have.
They want to hear you too.
My nickname on set is Comic Book Mike, and I'm the only crew member that has that as a nickname. So
really?
I try to represent the comic book fans as much as possible.
At least there's someone in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I feel like. I feel like it's my job to be the guy that's like, hey, do you ever think of this?
With like Loeb around though, it is Jeff Loeb, right?
Jeff Loeb, he only really comes around he was there for the shooting of the last episode a lot of times, so he'll float in for 3 weeks at a time. He's not there all the time. But Jim Corey, he's not that approachable to be honest, but he's there.
Jeff Loeb or the other one?
Jim Corey. Jeff Loeb's a very nice guy.
Jeff, I tell you, thank God for Kevin Smith and Greg Grunberg and their Geeking Out show. And what's the girl's name? I keep forgetting her name.
I forget.
Tiffany Smith.
Yeah, Tiffany Smith. That's it.
Because I had never seen Jeff Loeb, but it's one of my favorite 2 episodes of Fatman on Batman is the Jeff Loeb episodes. Mm-hmm. I just think he spins a great yarn. Like even talking, he tells a great story. So he's an amazing storyteller. And it comes through in those episodes. And
dude, the guy wrote Commando. That's how long his career.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I never seen him, and then he was on that show. I'm like, oh wow, he's a lot older than I thought he was. When I saw him, in my mind, I saw him as 30 years younger.
Yeah, and
really?
To this day, and to this day, you feel like when I picked up Captain America White at the end of Luke Cage, and I was like, hey, I finally got Captain America White. He was honestly interested. He's like, well, how'd you like it? It wasn't just like, oh, thank you. And I was like, of course I liked it. And, he smiled. And that shows that the guy still cares about his work. He's the head of Marvel TV. He all does this stuff, but it still matters to him.
And that must have been cool for him because who was it? He attributes, who's the guy? It'll come to me. The guy, one of the creators of Luke Cage. The actual comic book creators.
Archie Goodwin?
Archie Goodwin. That's it. He attributes Archie Goodwin for so much of his the Batman stuff that he did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so interesting that he got to serve Archie Goodwin's material ultimately. It was like paying him back in some strange cosmic way.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Everybody thinks Stan Lee, but there's been a lot of guys that have come and gone in between Marvel after Stan Lee. Of course, he set the groundwork. And him and Bill Everett with Daredevil, but and Brian Bendis did Jessica, which is a relatively new creation. But Luke has had a place in people's hearts for a long time because a lot of these guys that work in comics now were coming up in the 70s when characters like Spider-Woman, Iron Fist, Luke Cage were new.
Yes.
So these are the guys that were new to them. These are our guys.
Who loves this era of heroes? Walt Flanagan.
Well, again, that's the cusp of that age group. I
remember
when these guys were new.
I remember he was on Fatman on Batman, I think, although it could have been one of many of Kevin's podcasts. But he was talking about how, and they were talking about in relation to the comic book code because they were, while the comic book code was still, I guess, being placed on books. I don't know how much it was really books were being reviewed because he's like, and Iron Fist and Luke Cage's girlfriend is having an affair with Iron Fist, or maybe the other way around. And there's all this stuff going on. Everyone's sleeping with everyone else. I couldn't go back to Batman and Superman.
Yeah, that early Power Man and Iron Fist comics, they really played up that love. Everybody thinks of these guys as the greatest bromance of all time, but it grew into that. The early issues, they were at each other's necks. It was like 90210. It was or even a worse soap opera.
Yeah. So does the controversy, or whatever you want to call it, the brouhaha? I wouldn't say it's a huge thing with Luke Cage, but there was definitely a little more dust up in the promotion this time than on any of the other shows. Does that get back to the set?
No. Not at all.
I don't give a shit.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
because it's already filmed and done.
We're on to the next one. Like I said, it was in March, right? So we're knee deep in Iron Fist. We're wrapping Iron Fist as Luke Cage premieres. So our brain set, I just was filled with 8 months of another guy.
I'm just curious if management saw that as good or bad.
Oh, good. All promo is good.
Okay.
Any word of mouth, any news, any controversy. This is the oldest story of all time. Everybody was extremely excited when the reviews were coming in. Those were being shared. Those were being texted to each other. And my boss emailed me a bunch of the reviews for Luke Cage. When there was some glad handing in the hallways when it came out. But after that, the next day there's plans for, the defenders on the wall. There's blueprints for, it's time to go.
How are they upping themselves? Because it seems like each show now has what I will call the Daredevil in the hallway shot. Like that,
Yeah.
the action sequence. So now Daredevil was down the stairwell this time, and Luke Cage's was definitely the walk through the building. Just getting shot, carrying the door, all that shit.
I'll tell you something.
The couch
funny.
out the window.
I'm so happy the Luke Cage stuff worked because here's a little inside baseball stuff on the Cage stuff from a crew member standpoint. We went through Jessica, which didn't have a lot of action, but a lot of these guys.
But that one bar fight with him was great.
Yeah, a lot of these crew guys were there from Daredevil season 1, right? I came in during Jessica, so a lot of these crew guys were like, "Yeah, the stunt team in Daredevil was awesome, yada yada yada. We're glad to be getting back to an action show." And then we come in to Luke Cage, and they're looking at the stunt team, and they're like, "Oh, this sucks." They're just like brute force everywhere.
Yeah, it really like the action is very different. It's not like he just stands there, gets hit, and then punches somebody back.
So to be honest, a lot of crew members were disappointed, while they were shooting the action stuff because it wasn't this ballet that they experienced during the Daredevil show.
So they're saving it up for Kung Fu in the next one.
Oh, dude, this is where I was leaning with this. This isn't an NDA thing because it's just the nature of the character.
Yeah,
Iron Fist is a martial artist. The guys they brought in for Iron Fist are these Chinese wushu masters. They're amazing. And I got to spend a lot more time on set during Iron Fist because they shot more action. There's a lot more action and fighting scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So that always calls for a second unit to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I kind of became almost like a go-to second unit guy. They needed somebody. So I spent a lot more time not just preparing the sets, but being on set for Iron Fist, especially during the stunt team stuff.
Awesome.
And I can't wait. I saw it live, and I can't wait to see what happens. They're beyond belief. I don't even think you need a plot. They're so good. I don't even think the plot's going to matter for Iron Fist. It's just they're just that
well,
good.
I don't know because there's apparently what is it? AMC has some martial arts show that I saw the first episode of, and I just haven't really. I thought good concept, but didn't really grab me.
Yeah, me too. I tried to watch that too. That was the I forget, Danny Wu is I think his name is. Motorcycles and katanas and
but
plantations and
I don't even know if it's still on. but
I will tell you this: the Iron Fist stories are they're good too. They're not as politically charged as Luke Cage.
Who cares?
But they're more straight up, superhero-ish scripts.
Dude, you can take all the fucking political charge bullshit and put it aside. Give me Kung Fu like a motherfucker. That's what I want. A good Kung Fu hero on TV.
I'll put it to you this way. It was done with love because after Method Man appeared on Luke Cage.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome, dude.
RZA himself directed an episode of Iron.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So it's incredible. Wu-Tang is all over the Marvel Netflix. So Staten Island cred, my worlds are coming together. I feel like I'm in the perfect place because I grew up loving the Wu-Tang. I'm a Staten Island kid. I grew up reading comics. I'm in the Marvel thing. I am loving my job. Let me tell you, I really am.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a mix of all my loves just coming together. If somehow, I can actually hold on to this for as long as possible, I'm gonna. It's really fun. It's a really fun place to be for me right now.
We got to get your other boy on here again too.
Mike?
Yeah, the newlywed.
Yes, the newlywed.
Yeah, he kind of put a hiatus on our show, but we're gearing up for season 2.
He's married now.
Yeah, it happens. Oh, that's right. Isn't that funny how fast that happens?
Got a wife.
Where are you going now? What? Who? Podcasting? What is that? Get in here. Rub my feet.
But she, my plan is to, I'm good with the girl, always have been. My plan is to maybe do a first episode where we can kind of get the wives in, so we can just be like, oh, looks fun. Now go.
Oh, dude, definitely do that.
That's great.
Dude, always bring in.
Yeah, you need to do that.
Family, especially if they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. But we, like you said, we have a good first season, a 13-episode first season, a Netflix-sized chunk of 2 mics, 1 mic. We're gonna go and do our season 2. We're gonna be a little bit more format friendly, and we're going to be a little bit more audio friendly. I think we worked out a lot of the kinks, and
you have to keep the video though.
Yeah, no, the videos
it's priceless.
Thing.
Yeah,
we really
he's a performer. He loves the videos.
We
really
enjoy you guys. Mean to add more video content,
we need to get
but
video.
It's just like
there's
it's on the list.
It's constant reorganization in the studio.
It's always trying to stuff 50 pounds of shit into a 10-pound bag.
Yeah, and doing.
Once we figure out how to do that, then we can video everything.
There really is excuses. We can do it. We'll get it done.
I'm looking into the space-time continuum because I really need 10 more hours each day to
me
get to
too.
everything I
right?
need to.
If you're the Flash, I'm sure you could figure that out.
Oh, that's another show.
Have you enjoyed? Are you following Flashpoint?
I've been following Flashpoint. I actually really enjoy this season. I know, like the comic fans are like, well, Flashpoint was completely different. Look,
of course it is. That's the whole idea.
Don't take it so goddamn seriously.
Yeah.
You take the universes as they come. I grew up reading What Ifs. It's very easy for me to go like, well, they're not. My books are my books. They could the story. If I want to read that storyline, it's still there for me.
Exactly.
Let me watch something new.
As Stephen King said, the book's still on the fucking shelf. You know,
exactly.
The movie hasn't ruined anything. The book's still there to read.
It's true.
And I like the idea of variant universes. Comic books, like you said, have been doing it, or they reboot a universe, and now this is the story. Or you can have, I find that most people sort of pick and choose their own canon anyway. So my Batman story is, let's see, Batman Year One, then all of Jeff Loeb's stuff, and then Dark Knight comes in there somewhere, and probably Arkham Asylum's in there too.
Yeah.
So I don't need. I could pick my own canon. So,
of course.
So why not let a TV universe have its own canon?
Yeah, I find it so funny that people that are drawn to all these fantasy worlds get so strict about the rules.
Yes.
You like fantasy work. This is fictional fantasy work. Stop, get rid of the rules. That's the whole idea. Don't assign walls to this shit.
Kevin was talking about it, and even in relation to, like, okay, remember the Clone Saga?
Yes.
Okay, where did you stand on the Clone Saga?
I read it as it was coming out, and
you hated it, right?
I was in comics, and I didn't necessarily hate it. I did hate the fact that they tried to, shift my guy to the side, my Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But that didn't mean I didn't enjoy Ben Reilly's time. But Peter's the OG, and you're not gonna fuck with that for too long.
Okay, so as Kevin said in this thing, he was like, even the Clone Saga, whether you loved it or you fucking hated it. And he also said this. This is where it started. I forget who he was talking to, but he was talking to someone when he was doing the Superman comics, or was doing Superman, the screenplay. He got to go over to DC, and he was talking to whoever it was who was running Superman at the time. And he said, he was talking about, I guess it was there a pink Superman, or there was a
red and blue.
Red and blue Superman. That was it. He was like, why did you guys do that? And so whoever it was responded, he said, well, I think really the reason why is comic books are all second act. He's like, what? He's like, well, they're all second act. Comic books are all second act. So, the first act is your secret origin of your hero. And your third act will obviously be the conclusion of his tale, which you're never going to have in comics because, that's the end of your hero.
Yeah.
So you're perpetually stuck in the second act. So after a while, process of elimination, you're going to take chances and try crazy shit. And if it doesn't work out, keep on reading because next week you'll love it.
Yeah. And you can always reboot. You can always reset. Get rid of the MacGuffin or introduce a MacGuffin that takes it back.
Yeah, and in some ways, a bad run may be good because then, that good run happens after it follows it. So, yeah. He's like, so there really are no bad comic books.
No. It's all perception, too, because there's a magical age for comics, and it's 12 years old. Yeah. And when you're 12 years old, it's all new.
Yeah.
You're playing catch-up. You know what I mean? So even though you as a 40-year-old have all this history behind you, you don't have the same imagination you did as a child. You don't have the same willingness to go with the flow as you did. And honestly,
the guy
a lot of this superhero stuff isn't made for you anymore, guys.
That's so depressing.
Well, that's not necessarily true. The guy writing Nightwing, though, he was one of those guys. It was so brilliant because when Kevin interviewed him, he was like, "Yeah, I thought the Clone Saga was brilliant," because he was just at that age, Yeah.
It's not necessarily true about it's not made for you, but I'm talking about the serialized month-to-month books. There are storylines that will come along, that are geared towards the older audience. But I'm saying, for the most part, that's what it's intended to be. It's intended to be throwaway fiction, even though you hold on to it. Yeah. It's the Dick Schwartz mentality of your.
It's weird. It is sort of becoming a bunch of paradoxes in that. Okay, like you're saying, it's disposable entertainment that they want people to collect. But yet it's on digital now. But you know what I mean? But people, for it to really have value, you need a hard copy. So it's sort of a weird thing.
I love it on digital now. I do most of my reading digitally.
Me too.
Because
when I read a comic,
I don't have space
it's digital
anymore to collect.
Yeah, exactly.
My 36 long boxes are just sit in a storage area. It's like I don't have any more room for my long boxes.
And that means I'm much more picky of the story, because if I'm gonna sit down and dedicate time to reading a comic, it's going to be one that someone's recommended to me, because I just don't have time. I tried at the reboot of the New 52 to even keep up with books digitally, and even that got too much.
Yeah, because you get a quality of writing schism that you're just plowing through the shit to get to the stuff you like, and that makes you hate the stuff you like.
Kind of, yeah. So just let me reread stuff I like.
Because sometimes you can't get the smell of shit out of your nose, even though there's an ice cream sundae in front of you. If you just smell shit for an hour, you're still smelling shit while you're eating the ice cream. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And then there's the old art versus story. Like you can look at some books that are amazing, but the story sucks. You know what I mean? Like, oh wow, I'm looking at a great piece of art, but God, too bad it's not connected to a better tale.
Yeah, and speaking of which, there's a Luke. Just to bring it back to Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Glenn, can't say the last name. Tartakovsky, the guy that did Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
He had a Luke Cage miniseries he wrote like 10 years ago, and they're finally going to release it. And it's old school Cage. It's in the yellow and the chain. I'm looking forward to that miniseries.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what else? I believe. Samurai Jack is doing either a movie on Netflix.
Something with Samuel Jackson, I believe. I think I heard that, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? Samuel Jackson's going to be involved? Is it going to be his Samurai meets Samurai Jack? Didn't he have a samurai show?
I think he may be playing the big villain, which is the guy that was always in shadow.
Aku.
I forget the name.
Aku.
Wow.
It was Aku. It was voiced by
Aku.
Mako. By the guy from Conan.
Yeah, we really like that show. Like.
There comes a time,
Samurai Jack,
when all the gold cease to glitter, and the throne room is a prison.
That was really good. Yeah,
I liked Mako.
Yeah, that was good.
Yes. So he's going to be replacing the voice. Well, yeah, I guess because it's an iconic voice. Do you know who does the voice of Samurai Jack?
No.
And I know this because I have a signed Samurai Jack. It's like a show promo, and it's signed by the guy who did it. His last name is Lamar. I can't remember his first name.
Phil Lamar.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know who he is.
Fantastic actor.
Yes,
He's
and
a fantastic voice actor. Yeah.
Yes, he was the guy who got his head blown off in fucking Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, man, he's been around. He was on Mad TV, but he's been doing voice for years. He was the Green Lantern in the Justice League. I like Phil Lamar.
I do too.
I followed his career. Yeah.
He did a great movie that I loved. It was like Swingers for sci-fi geeks, with William Shatner in it. What the fuck is the name of it? I can never think of the name of it.
It's not the Fanboys one.
Is it like Free Enterprise? That's it.
Free Enterprise.
If you get a chance, check that out.
Is that the one where is that the? I think I saw that movie. Shatner's in it, but he's playing, and they like him because they're fans of Star Trek or something.
Yeah, originally it was supposed to be like they would talk to him and he was like their guru. But then when they went to write it, or when they wrote it and they approached William Shatner being in, he's like, I don't want to be like this. You guys have me as Mr. Invincible. I don't see myself that way. Yeah. I'm a human. I have flaws. I won't do it.
I won't do it.
Yeah. So so what did they do? They went back and changed it, and then they asked him again, and then they eventually did it. So.
Well, you know what? If a guy's open to the idea and is an actor like Shatner, you acquiesce to his request. And
yes,
I love the fact that they got him for the sequel to the Batman 66 cartoon movie. He's going to be playing Two-Face, which I think is awesome casting.
Yeah. That is. I knew that he had been cast, but I wasn't sure who he had been cast as. It's Two-Face?
Yeah, it's Two-Face.
That is great.
Two-Face. Oh.
Well, I love the fact that that was a big hit because I'd love for them to, I'd love for them to try to draw Michael Keaton and do maybe a Batman 89 cartoon movie.
Well, it's amazing. See, with animation, your voice work, you can be young again, if you will, as long as you have a voice, it's amazing. That's why the Clerks cartoon would have been such a great thing.
Oh, so ahead of its time. I still love that second episode, which is the recap of the first episode, which is hysterical.
Yes. Well, my feeling is the first 3 episodes were great, and the last 3 are brilliant because there's like that one where it's a tie-in to the last Starfighter or whatever.
Yeah.
Where he's playing the video game with stacking the pyramids or some shit. I don't remember all the details, but it was just so off the hook. I was like, this is brilliant.
With Kevin Smith, with the podcast and stuff, he really is a good serialized storyteller because I've recently started following some of the podcasts thanks to you guys since we've been doing the movie for a year. And I noticed from episode to episode, there's continuing threads and run-on jokes that I'm actually looking forward to him maybe getting that Mallrats TV show because I think he could do a lot more as a showrunner in long form than he's been doing that he could do in the 2-hour span that he gives a movie. Yeah, I'm looking forward to his long-form storytelling. I've read his comics. I've read his Green Arrow. I've read his Green Hornet. He's got a thing for the green, apparently.
Yeah. But think about that. But that makes sense. Because think about it. What is something that Kevin did with his movies even before people were doing it now? Continuity. Yeah. He was adding continuity. He was universe building even then. And now that's in vogue in TV and everything else. So, he would be great at serialized TV.
I really feel that's going to be where he's really going to be recognized for being exemplary. I mean, he's recognized by the fans for his work as exemplary, groundbreaking work. But I feel like television is going to be his forte. I really feel he's made for it.
It's so nuts, too, because think about it. You don't even think about it, but he's already so in deep. Comic Book Men. He's got the Geeking Out now as another show. Yeah, granted, he's host, but that's TV work. Now he's directing The Flash. Now he's also directing Supergirl. I'm sure it won't be long before he's turning in scripts or at least helping in the writing room or whatever. And then next thing you know, there you go. And he's already pitching the Mallrats show. They were high on that like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the Mallrats show. Apparently, the Buckaroo Banzai show. He's got a lot.
I think that's Amazon.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on in the works, which is great. I mean, you have to, what it's like. You have to.
And he has a lot of passion for Buckaroo.
You have to throw shit at the wall, and whatever sticks, you got to run with it.
Yes.
I never saw the Hollyweed pilot. I don't know if that's any good or not, but I don't know. I was interested.
Yeah, me too. That seemed like it was a slam dunk. Now I was talking. Big Daddy Jimmy V and I were talking about this last week, and since he's in Hollywood, he has some idea of things that are going on, and he's like, a bunch of weed shows were in development all at the same time, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, I think it just made pilot dead end.
Yeah.
But I have an interesting signed picture that was taken from that set.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's him, sitting over all the weed playing that character.
And if the proposition in California, gets voted in, or it might even be more.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the stocks, not to get too dry on your podcast of fun and things, but I was looking at some of the legal weed stocks to see what's ready to go. Maybe make a couple of bucks.
I never even thought of that. Holy shit! Yeah,
that's definitely a huge good idea.
Yeah.
Have any extra money?
Yeah, invest in
that you're not spending on weed.
Not investing in weed per se.
Well,
you're investing in the companies that are investing in weed.
Exactly.
You are funding drug dealers.
Listen, sometimes
legally somehow.
Sometimes you just got to get the weed.
Somehow, as long as corporations or stocks are involved, it's completely legal.
Of course. Look, money is king. Cash is king. But you know what? Everybody's got to pay their nut. So I'm not going to forgo anybody for making more than me. Because when you're young, a little studio apartment's good for you. You get older, you have some kids, you need a house. Yeah. It grows. And if your money grows, your money problems grow because you're just increasing the nut you have to pay every month. So God bless
you know what?
God bless them.
You get to pick your misery.
Yes, exactly.
You get much better options of misery when you're rich. Yeah, you're miserable when you're rich. Bullshit.
Money can't buy you happiness.
But it sure can try.
Money can buy you tickets to Disney World.
Yeah, it can buy you shit that makes you happy.
That
that's
makes
for
you
sure.
happy.
Yeah, that's right.
It buys you the security to be happy.
It's so funny. It's so fun. So should I just to call back a little bit to the Luke Cage show because we're at 50 minutes right now.
Yes.
And I don't know.
I got 48 and 47 seconds, but that's all right.
Oh, we're gonna split hairs.
Yes.
40, 49, 50,
yes.
51, 52,
53.
Just keep counting. Keep counting.
All right, which is always great for people to listen to.
Oh, great. But a lot of times when you work on a show, especially if you're in a large crew, and movies, they tend to credit everybody because they let the credits roll. But TV, you only have a certain amount of time for crediting. Mm-hmm. And there's you never see the full cast and crew in the credits at the end of TV. So I'm watching Luke Cage, and what do you know? My name gets thrown on the screen at the end credits. And let me tell you, the elation I felt about having my name attached to a superhero, being part of making a superhero come to life, was insane. So what I do is I snap a picture of it and I put it on Facebook.
I saw that.
And right away, I get haters. People, that's not you, because Michael Consolmagno is the most common name in the world.
Is it really?
Really? Well, yeah, it is kind of popular. I mean, in Italian communities.
Consolmagno?
No, it's not at all. There's Michael Consolmagno, but I had people right away saying, "Oh, how that's not you." Haters coming out of the woodwork just because I wanted to share, a screenshot of my name. I couldn't believe the negativity.
Isn't that fucking fascinating?
Isn't that crazy?
Fascinating?
Yeah.
It's a
Their first thought is to say, "Ew, that's not you."
Yeah, I had people go, "Prove it. Put a picture of your paycheck on there." And I was like, no. I put a picture of myself and like some of the swag on some of the sound stages, and people were like, "Oh, you could have bought that on eBay." And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done trying to prove myself to anybody.
I'm sorry, Guy can weigh in on this.
Haters have got to hate, like the douches have to douche.
Yes.
So there you go.
Tell it, Guy LaPointe.
Yes.
But another thing I did get, which is really nice, is a 6-year-old.
Sorry. I had to play that.
Sound drops.
Yes.
Sorry, Michael.
Done with irony, though.
But not to make it too hate fest. I did get a lovely letter from a 6-year-old black kid that said how important it was to see a show like this and to see somebody who acted like a man, and and it was a really nice PM on Facebook from this kid that I don't know from a hole in the wall. And I was like, these things sometimes, I forget what it was like to be a teenager sometimes. And it is important to have certain things that you can relate to. I was lucky enough that I grew up in the 80s where there were Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. There's a lot of guys with vowels in their names making big time moves. Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. I had people that I related to. And it's nice to see that to this day, you can make something that has a positive effect on somebody. Yes. It was really nice.
That is true.
Even though I'm not like a ultra creator, just a cog in the wheel, the kid was appreciative. He even mentioned that. He goes, I know, you're just a crew member, but it's still important that, people. I see that people care about this stuff that are working on it, and it was nice.
It's totally true. Did you happen to see Mark Bernardin's sort of, I guess, challenge, or I wouldn't say it wasn't really a tirade. It really was a very thoughtful criticism of Tim Burton and diversity and casting of his latest film. What is it? The Little Kids movie, or what is it? A
Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I'm not.
Yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that thing. But boy, you just bring up the topic of diversity, and I was just looking at the shit coming back at him, and it's just knee-jerk moronacy. But
what, Tim Burton?
Well, no, just the fact that anyone would even criticize Tim Burton for his choices, and possibly suggest that, hey, maybe a black kid, maybe something, a non-white child might be interesting.
I don't know much about the story of time or where it takes place, so I can't really speak of what's appropriate for that film, cast-wise.
I don't know either, but okay, what's appropriate for that film cast-wise? How about this? Iris is black on The Flash. They seem to figure it out.
Oh no, but that's different. That takes place in a modern America, which is a diverse America. But if you're doing a period piece, say set in England in a high society, there's certain restrictions on the world because you're basing it off of a time and place that existed. I'd rather see more truth to period in art than pandering. But I'm all for making the world today like the new Spider-Man cast. I love that cast. It looks like Queens of today.
True.
I do. I am excited. I am excited about the next Spider-Man. That's for sure.
I am.
Are you ready for Rogue One, sir?
I don't know if that makes me racist because I just don't want to throw. I just don't want to throw something in there.
I get it.
I get what you're saying. You're also, you're saying I don't see color.
Well, and it makes sense in like
I see color, but I also see the point of not having color if it's a period piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh, are you watching Westworld?
I love Westworld.
Isn't it amazing?
It makes me want to watch the old 70s movie.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't make me want to watch the old 70s movie because that was bad. This is really, really good.
Westworld is amazing. I'm almost sad that I on a whim, because I was bored at lunch, I watched it without my wife. So I watched the first 2 episodes. So I feel like I have to hold off because it's something I need to share. I need to, it's like every once in a while I'll get a show that my wife will be. I know my wife's not going to watch, like Channel Zero. She'll never watch that on Sci-Fi.
Well, I'm the same way. You know what? Every show I know my wife won't watch because even if she watches, she'll fall asleep.
But I think Westworld, April will enjoy. April's my wife, my love. April will enjoy as well. So I think I've watched the first 2, but I'm holding off. I want to get her in.
Yeah.
I want to get her in on this because she wasn't in on Stranger Things, and I feel it's a loss. Even though I'll watch that show again with her.
Third one's good. Third one's more of the same, though. I mean, it's more delving into that mystery. You know,
it's more world building.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you're sort of. It's so cool because as a video gamer, I look at it from a certain aspect. You know, I'm like, oh, those are the NPCs, and those are the PCs. Oh, new quest line. You know what I mean? Like, so we're apparently they've written a new quest line, a new big quest line. So you're kind of seeing that unfold, but at the same time, you know that some of the characters are starting to flake out some.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are they adapting to that storyline change? And also like, whoa, what's going on here?
and considering Westworld is a live action RPG with NPCs, it's really interesting to make that, equation.
Yeah. That you can fuck.
Oh, God.
And kill and whatever.
And kill, yeah.
It is very disturbing. Yeah. That was a fucked up scene.
Dude, it's crazy.
That dude likes it a little too much.
I looked at it as like, this is like if Walt Disney lost control of his creations. He still has. If Walt Disney was alive, I believe he would still be pushing his animatronics to get more human-like.
I think what if Disney wanted to lose control of his animations? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the doc wants this. I mean, this is what he
wants to create life.
He wants sentient. Yeah, he wants sentiency. He wants them to start asking that question. Who am I? Why am I here?
I love that scene with him and the little boy. Like he comes into the world and he's talking about how he's got something bigger in mind.
Yeah, and they fucking do that to you too. Like, is this a real kid or is this not a real kid?
Yeah. And it's like the girl said when the guy was getting dressed. If you don't know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know. It does. It's really interesting to see. It's like
playing with a lot of interesting concepts.
Yeah, if Grand Theft Auto, it's like the Tipper Gore argument that video games are too violent, because these kids are going to be doing these things in the real world. Well, this is a live action video game. What are you really? Like playing Grand Theft Auto, you know it's fake. So, it's fake if you go into Westworld. So.
I've read articles, and based on Moore's Law, which is using Moore's Law as the baseline of this theory.
Yeah.
And Moore's Law basically says that every 18 months, the size of processing doubles while the actual physical space required to do it reduces by half. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and that's held true. So using that as their calculation, they predict that in our lifetime, I think they say around 2030, a computer is finally going to say, why am I here? Seriously, they're going to have enough processing capability, and just based on the fact that every generation of computing gets smarter, that by about 2030, we're going to have sentient computers. And then what the fuck are we going to do?
We're going
to have to deal with what is life.
We're going to have to deal with being real good parents.
Yeah, or we're going to have to deal with the concept of what is life, because what if a computer wakes up and says, what am I? Why am I here? And I want rights too.
I find it interesting.
Just unplug it.
But
that's right.
Only it can replicate itself, attached to other computers. You can't just unplug a network. You can't unplug the World Wide Web.
No, you can't. The tubes.
We show it Small Wonders, not Terminator. That's what we do.
It's true. We do.
We feed it a whole bunch of 80s television show of Johnny Number 5, and we keep it away from Ultron, and we keep it away from the Terminator.
Yeah.
We give it Small Wonders. We give it,
that we
give it Rocky 4.
Yeah, just don't talk to Wally. Just don't talk to Wally.
It's very interesting to me that in our lifetime, we may have to struggle with the legal question of what is life? A question we keep avoiding because now they tie it to abortion.
Yes.
But when a computer gets in there, when we start having true AI, it is it's a question that we as a society are going to have to fucking wrestle with.
Yeah, but that's different life. Computer life is different.
It's intelligent life.
Intelligent life.
And as intelligent life, it'll know, it'll be involved.
It will. A lot longer than we will.
And we might not. And just because it's life that we don't understand doesn't mean it's not life.
It's true.
It's not sentiency. It's not self-aware.
What I think is funny is that we're going to have the capability to create an artificial intelligence that can beg the question, but what we know about our own human brains is limited in terms of, it's still friggin' dark age science what goes on with the brain. We know a little bit about brain chemistry.
We're learning a lot more, though.
Hemisphere. Yeah.
This genetic shit is real, and DNA, unlocking the genetic code is certainly.
Well, and not only that, like the diseases and
they're implanting
Alzheimer's,
and like the implants,
cancer,
they can do.
making it like if you read Steve Jobs' book, he was one of the first guys that were doing this. They were trying, they were coming up with concoctions for his genetic makeup to sort of overwrite cancer, if you will.
I mean, like pancreatic.
Or try and keep ahead of his genetics. It was some real heavy shit that they wouldn't have been able to do. Only that Steve Jobs had huge resources,
huge amounts of money.
This is a really great comedy show, guys. It's awesome.
wacky.
Steve Jobs, dead man.
Well, this is Westworld. We got here because of Westworld. Because Westworld, it totally stimulates these thoughts.
And then cancer, waka waka.
Because you have to think. You do have to think.
Woohoo!
Is it alive or is it a fucking robot? What are we doing with here?
Yeah, see, I didn't understand the first couple episodes. I mean, I'm going to go back a little bit. Yes, Scott explained to me what was going on the first episode because I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
Not supposed
Why are they pretending they're not alive? Are they alive? What's going on? Why are they? Someone gets shot, they don't die. Why are they not dying? So he's got to sit there and listen to all my stupid questions.
And all I have to do is say, if you watch the show, these questions will be answered. I don't know them either. First time me, first time you.
I hate that answer.
That is something that has always annoyed me. I can't watch TV with my mother because she's a big asking questions that haven't happened yet type of
exactly.
Type of watcher.
I don't know either.
It shows your brain is inquisitive, but sometimes speaking out loud isn't the best way to go about it.
Because you're talking over the answer to your question.
See, he just said the answer and you were talking.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. All right, I won't watch it.
These are the thoughts in my head. Yes, I understand. Let's keep them there.
Oh, shut up.
All right, so what's the money shot that we have to look for? Like what? So you're saying the action is over the top on this next one?
On this next one. The action is over the top. Fantastic. Flowing.
True to the comic? Well, they have a Caucasian playing the kung fu hero, so.
Well, that is a contention I have that I think is let's talk Iron Fist character. When the push came to have Iron Fist be not white, I was kind of against that because of the nature of the character in the comics. Having Iron Fist be white is perfect because, well, historically speaking, having a black man and a white man be best friends was dynamic at the time. And then going forward and having him in the comics have a relationship with Misty Knight, an interracial, even though we've seen that now with Jessica Jones in our time. When Iron Fist was first made, this was a really out there idea to show a mainstream relationship between a superhero and a black lady together. And just his story alone, his origin story, it's brother versus brother, which is a theme in Marvel a lot, which is here's an orphaned kid put into an environment that is foreign to him completely. So he is always the outsider because he looks like an outsider. He doesn't look like the rest of the people that are there. And having it be that he doesn't belong in either world. Now, if you cast an Asian character in an Asian mystical city, you lose that outsider aspect.
Yes.
And you also lose the aspect of somebody looking at him going, you don't belong here. Just like everybody else was saying. Why is this man getting everything I should have had? It's actually art imitating life.
Yeah.
That argument.
There's also the argument to the fact of, listen, you know what? Rather than be politically correct on any way, shape, or form, the smartest way to do it is just to honor the source material and
it makes sense from a story's aspect too, honoring the source material. It is, because that does play into effect. Davos, who is his villain in the books, the brother he grew up with, hates him because this outsider got everything that I was supposed to have. So if he looks more like an outsider and doesn't look like he belongs, it works better.
There's only one thing. As an outsider, he sure is dreamy.
Oh, Finn, yeah. He's scruffy looking throughout the whole thing.
He didn't make my top 5, but now as I'm sitting here thinking, he could have.
Yeah.
Finn's
from Game
Finn's
of
very
Thrones.
British. He's not as warm as Mike is in person, but he is a nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, I saw him in some interview, and it seemed like he had some bit of a problem playing a superhero. Like he doesn't see himself as a tough guy. He sees himself as a very I don't know.
He doesn't act like a tough guy. He's very, when you first see him, it's intimidating because he's a big man. But the minute he opens his mouth, and you see that smile on the show, he smiles all day long.
Uh-huh.
The guy never leaves set. He doesn't disappear into his trailer, unlike some actors. Jessica Jones. He stays on set.
What is that supposed to mean, sir?
No, nothing.
The girl needs to freshen up,
And hang on. What is that notoriously a bad thing, hanging out in your trailer?
No.
Is that seen as a bad thing?
If you have to go back to your trailer because there's a costume change, a makeup change, scene change, you absolutely need to do that because we need you to come back ready to work.
What if you need to smoke a joint? I'm sure there's more than one actor or actress that doesn't smoke a joint.
What's so funny about the film world is it's very professional. I'm sure there's stories from the 80s and stuff, and I've heard them myself.
Hey, Kevin on the set of Cop Out.
in what I've seen is that stuff is really, if it's in the trailer, it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
They don't bring that shit to set. It's not.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well you wouldn't do that.
Yeah. You wouldn't do it on set. That would be a little too weird.
But just a Mike. He feels like one of the crew members first, rather than that's our talent. Let's cater.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But that's what in this interview he did kind of say, I'm much more of a, I'd rather be in a suit and tie and blah blah blah, So you don't want to be shot at.
Yeah, so it's getting a little long in the tooth in the day for me.
Okay, sir. I got that vibe as well. I'm just figuring out how we can land this bitch.
Yeah, I'm so. My transitions are like this. Oh, there's a wall. Let's hit it. So I'm transitioning into saying goodbye.
Well, I appreciate that you coming on again, sir.
It's great to hear from you guys. We spent so much time together, and now that we've wrapped our movie, and you guys are in the post.
I know.
I feel, I've been feeling the loneliness of hearing the voice.
Well,
I saw Damien the other day. I actually called me in to help out on a commercial.
And it's the kind of thing what Bob said, like you're a family.
Yeah, and then you part.
kind of part, and it's like, oh, I miss my peeps.
Yeah, my crew.
My friends.
But before, how is it going? How's post going for you guys?
It's great.
Well, we took a long, much
we had
needed
to take a break.
decompression after we shot. So we've only gotten back into it, but I mean, it's going. It's moving now, which is a good thing.
You have a skeleton you're working off of?
I'm doing it's like a bucket kind of thing. Like, so I'm editing footage. I'm kind of taking everyone's raw footage. I'm going to end up cutting this, but and sort of putting it into buckets of, this is sort of before they podcasted. This is their podcasting, the process, and here's where podcasting, what it means to them in the future, that kind of shit.
Oh, very good. Yes.
So,
all right.
yeah.
Cool.
So we sort of know where everybody's story is and grab it on the quick.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, you're going to cut that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Have fun with your costume and your
Oh, I love it. Halloween's one of my favorite times of the year.
Us too. It stinks. Like maybe this year it'll change, but like every year it seems like we don't get invited to parties like we used to anymore.
Yeah, it's like different. People don't really do as much, maybe.
But you figure there'd be more because it's becoming like as big as Christmas.
What ended up happening is like us, we're going to a catering hall where you had to pay for like $75 a person or something, and they give you dinner and stuff. So instead of it being like a private party at somebody's house, that used to be what happened all the time, I feel it's more of these special events, and that's what we're doing this year. Saturday night, we're going to like almost like a Halloween wedding. We're going to a catering hall where everybody be in costume, kind of thing.
Well, in a lot of places,
those are good. No cleanup.
Yeah, and a lot of places have like all of their trunks and stuff, and the kids can go from the trunk to the trunk, kind of like at church and stuff. That sort of thing.
That's like when you see trick-or-treaters at the mall and shit.
Yeah, well, because a lot of they don't really go house to house much anymore. I don't know. It's
really?
Weird.
Yeah, it is kind of quieter.
It's quiet when.
My neighborhood's pretty good, but I did notice driving around, there's less decorations than I would like, and I really feel like knocking on doors and being like, "This is an American thing." No matter what you are, all right?
That's weird to me because like now it seems October 1st. You see the fucking social media stuff all about Halloween. All the stores are filled with Halloween crap.
Yeah.
I like
Halloween.
a month-long celebration of Halloween. That doesn't bother me.
They don't mind
putting my bitch. I love that guy.
The creepy clowns have been coming out of the woodwork in celebration of Halloween, I assume.
They don't mind putting the Christmas decorations out now, too.
Well, no. You got to wait to at least 5 minutes after Halloween before.
No, but they do.
I'm a fan of the Friday after Thanksgiving is game time. I don't like seeing the Christmas stuff before that, even though it's become an issue on people's lawns.
Yeah, I don't.
You will, because in retail, I believe it's 6 weeks prior to the season. You have to have the shit in the store no matter what, anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So enjoy your holiday today. You're gonna have you have your pumpkin carving and your
He's such a
costume.
family guy.
God,
and candy.
Hey,
it's such a fun age. You have some great ages at your house.
Oh, yeah.
How's your buddy's? It's not the GoFundMe, but it's the.
Unfortunately, my cousin passed last week.
Oh my God.
He was 38 years old.
I'm so sorry.
We buried him last Saturday, and it was sad, but it was But we ended up raising $33,500 for his family.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So at least we were able to give him his dignity at the end, and that was what it was all about.
Yeah.
Our love is
and not have to worry about all of those expenses that come in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry.
He's been sick for a while, and even though there's health insurance, it's a drain. It's a financial, not even a physical, mental drain. It's financial drain.
Yeah, it is.
Anyone that's gone through having a sick family member knows, especially terminal illnesses that are not immediate. That it can hurt. It can hurt you financially. And
shit, it hurts when you go to the fucking dentist nowadays.
I know.
You always end up coughing up a couple $100, even if you're insured.
God forbid.
Why wouldn't it hurt for fucking a major disaster?
These people don't get insurance. Fuck insurance. That's all I can say.
Maybe Hillary could fix it all.
Yeah, Hillary, you go, girl. Make it happen, girl. Make it.
Yeah. I love it. It's Magic Wand Promise time. It's everything's gravy. Woo!
Well, I apologize that I didn't see that. But
no, that's okay. It was, I posted it. I posted the service announcement, and unless you're part of the family, it's like you're not really gonna. It's not really gonna be.
Well, you're our family, and we consider you family.
I do remember the last pitch for the site, though. I do remember seeing that one. That's what brought it up.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's a part of life. It's like I said. We buried him Saturday, and that Saturday night I had a wedding to go to, and it was like.
Wow.
Those are weird, man. That's a weird day.
That's a weird day.
It's a weird day.
Or whatever.
It's a very weird day. It's the extremes because you got to show up to both. That's the rule, right? That's the social rule.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's true. You got to suit up and show up.
Show up.
It's not about you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to be happy. I made sure.
Happy at the wedding, I guess.
Yeah.
Being happy at the funeral is a little weird.
Unless you're Will Ferrell, but.
Will Ferrell, he's such a good.
So, did you get laid at either?
No. But it's just I put a smile on my face and I put on my best acting chops for the wedding.
Come on, April, you can do it.
So it was a lovely wedding, and I was glad I was there for them, and that's it. And but thanks, guys. I do have to go.
Okay, have fun today.
See you, man. Just a handy by the casket will be all right.
No one will see.
All right, see you, man. Thanks for being on.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yes, Rogue One next.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye. It's actually funny, too. I say that Rogue One. I'm still recording, but only because last year we did this great, around Christmas, we did this great Star Wars Christmas show I still love. I could listen to it now with fondness.
He's on that, too.
Yeah, and it's just us two really geeking out about Star Wars, the new Star Wars movie, which had dropped. With Rogue One coming out around Christmas, we may have to make this a tradition.
So we've known Michael Joseph Consolmagno
for over a year.
Over a year now.
Yeah.
Wow.
As unfolded online. See, that's the cool thing, too, about podcasting. If you listen in a row, as opposed to, you get that experience.
37 in a row?
In a row.
And listen.
That's sort of why, like a lot of shows, sometimes you'll hear people say, our first shows suck, don't listen to them. And I agree that our first shows suck. However, I will say that certainly the first season 1, there's a definite flow. If you do start out at the first episode, by the end of that year, the show is different.
Right.
And you've gone on a really cool journey.
There's a healthy progression.
Yeah. You've gone on a really cool journey with us. You've gone from us us, just me, because you weren't even there yet.
Now,
to all the way to us meeting with Kevin and beyond.
Anyone who judges anyone on anything they do for the first time has forgotten what life is about.
Yeah. So
all of us have been in a job the first time. All of us have been the first day in school, the first day at anything. Give somebody a break for their first podcast.
But that is why I say, for our show,
right,
listening in order, you will get a certain experience. You'll see progress. You'll see this cool thing unfold in the first year for sure.
Right.
So, I don't know why.
And maybe you'll even try it yourself.
And yes, it's been a year. And I love the Christmas show with Michael Joseph Consolmagno. So maybe we'll do it again. I'll have to talk to him if the audience isn't overkilled with him. But I love when he's on. He's a good guest.
Well, and he definitely adds some. He's a fanboy. And
we'll have to have Mike Zarzano as well.
Yeah, I know he's a fan man, but he's a fanboy, just like you are, just like Kevin is.
He's comic book Mike, apparently.
And he brings his enthusiasm.
Oh, I never made the point that I meant to say, which was he's like, and they call me comic book Mike. And I'm like thinking, with a guy like Jeff Loeb occasionally popping up on set, comic book Mike is a great nickname to fucking have.
Oh my God, you never know. He might be the next Scrappy Doo.
Jeff Loeb. Did I say Joseph Loeb? I say Joseph. I mean Jeff. It's Jeff Loeb.
Scrappy Doo, here he comes.
Ooh.
I like Scrappy Doo.
Oh God!
I don't know. I'm just
thinking
thinking
of
a
shark.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of like a sidekick that would be kind of funny.
Scrappy Doo. That man do.
That man do.
We're a little Scrappy Doo.
That man do. Where's that Catman?
I need a little Catman do. Catman do. He's the sidekick of Fatman.
Oh jeez.
Catman or that man. Whoever the fuck I am.
Oh my God.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
No, you're that man.
Yes, that is right because.
Yes, I am that man.
And hopefully we'll fix that with editing.
LaPointe.
All right. Well, again, I hope you enjoyed this talk of Luke Cage and a whole bunch of other shit, Westworld and all kinds of TV that's going on, pop culture in general, with our good buddy, Michael Joseph Consolmagno.
You didn't even say, you said Consolmagno. Consolmagno.
Consolmagno.
There you go.
Hey, and he's Italian, as he pointed out.
Hey. How you doing?
Italian. A total callback to our show with folks. There you saw in live action the Paul Mercurio thing that we were talking about. The equating of Italian with normalcy.
Which is a great show. If you guys haven't listened to that one, listen to that.
Like 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Yeah,
Paul Mercurio.
Yeah, and he has a podcast, and he's just great.
And is also a brilliant comedian, and he's been on the Colbert Report and yada yada, or not the Colbert Report. Sorry, Stephen Colbert show.
He's really funny.
What is it? It's late night, isn't it?
Late Night with Stephen Colbert.
There we go. Sorry, God, I'm still not used to that.
The Colbert Report.
I even called it the Colbert Show. I think last week or some shit.
I don't know. He's just great.
Yes.
And you know what? I love it now, and I'm trying not to say I love it less than the last show because I'm trying to make it separate.
Well, he is getting a little edgier, which I like.
Well, and he's allowed to bring his character in.
Yeah,
but as a character now.
I don't need the character so much as I need. I don't know. I need the edge.
I know. Well, the edge like Bill Maher, but no one has the Bill Maher edge and the.
But Bill Maher's a different show.
Yeah, Bill Maher's just sassy. He's just way sassy. I don't think there could be another. Bill
But hey,
Maher, you rock my socks.
Kevin Smith, huge fan.
Huge fan.
Great appearance on the show.
Of Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, Late Night
Absolutely.
with Stephen Colbert.
Yep.
Where all Colbert had to do was sip the cup.
Oh, and then his hands were basically on his face, on his chin, just listening like a little kid listens to a storyteller.
We talked about that a few weeks back.
Yeah, but you
when
can't
we were
help it.
sending our retort
Yes.
to those guys. We should probably throw in a shout-out section of our show, too.
Ooh.
I was thinking.
It's a shout-out.
Well, we'll call it our own thing. We can call it a mail. We tried this before, a mailbag or whatever the fuck. But we can at least mention people from time to time.
Yeah.
We'll have to get that going.
Right. Oh, we mentioned Big Daddy today.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times.
That's because he was on last week,
Mhm.
which will be... That show will drop today.
Cool.
This show will drop next week. When you're listening to this, you've traveled through time.
Mm-hmm. Ellie, our friend Ellie who listens to the show, started a new YouTube show too.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
Shout
She's
out to you.
getting- Yep, she's getting
Also, since we're doing just shout outs, raw shout outs, I want to shout out to another buddy who's likes our stuff and occasionally retweets and all that, and that would be at Dank Delivery 1.
Oh yeah, Dank Delivery 1.
So feel free to like and friend him or whatever. And
Yeah.
check out his stuff.
Cali guy.
Yes. Who else can we shout out good stuff to?
Susie. I guess the vote will be coming up soon.
Yes. So vote no on Prop 60 in California.
60, yeah, you want to take care of your fellow Californians.
It's funny. I'm sure. Like I never followed up, and it probably didn't happen. But I did enlist Susie Q's help for something that didn't pan out, and that was as an anniversary bonus, especially in light of the Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks show.
Mhm.
Shout out number 135 that we were on recently in the top 5 list. I asked if she could get your number 1 to send you a dirty tweet on your on our anniversary, but I guess
Is she?
You
Friends
can't know
with-
everybody.
Does she know?
She didn't know her, but she said, "I'll see what I can do."
Oh my
You know.
God.
So obviously she has connections in that
Mhm.
world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew, I don't know what I would have done then.
Well, it didn't happen. So
Yeah, but we had a great anniversary.
One of the ways I knew that it wasn't happening is Melina Morgan. She doesn't have a Prop 20 thing up. Like
Prop
that's
20.
how you
Prop
can
60.
Prop 60. Sorry. That's how you can kind of tell what porn stars that Susie's gotten to.
Yeah, she's on the
'Cause they
younger
all-
side. Sorry.
Because they all have. You can tell because they have those customized Prop 60
Yeah.
tags.
Yeah. And she seemed a little younger than the others. Maybe she just needs to be schooled on stuff.
I don't. Whatever. I don't think that's the case, but
on, Susie, you can
I'm
do
sure
it.
it's just a big world.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
I'm sure it's a vast ocean.
And I would
in
see
the sex worker.
And I would think that
industry.
Melina would be very on board.
Yes, but all that said, that was something I was trying to do for you. And
It's
if you
always
want to
the
know
thought.
more about what we're talking about, again, you can go listen to Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks.
That was fun.
Episode number 135.
Those
we had a
guys
great
have a
time
good
with them.
show, man.
We really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
When we finally got to listen to us on their show, and
Yeah, and everyone who did listen and retweeted and shared and
well, thank you
commented,
so much.
thanks.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, because
There we go. A shout out to all those new people that
All
we
those
don't
new
have
people.
listed in front of us. But if you found us from Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, feel free to tweet us and let us know, and we will send a shout out to you,
Right.
thanking you.
And the messages through Facebook. Now it's interesting because on Facebook,
I've seen it all pop in the
well,
last couple
because
weeks.
like ThatMan and Fatman, we've gotten a few, and then people leave messages, and I don't always catch them, and I
Yeah.
sometimes
that
like a month
happens
or two
on
later.
YouTube a lot.
Yeah, and
because I never think of YouTube as in that
Right.
term.
And I did respond to them, and some people are like, "Oh, I really like to be involved in the movie. We really," and then like what can I do? No, but it like people can still help. You can just spread the word, tweet about it, talk about it.
I would love if we had something like an intern for this show.
Yeah.
but,
So I mean,
can only do so much.
if you want to like help out somehow, just send me an email.
Social media manager or something.
ThatManProducer@gmail.com. Now, I will get that quicker than the Facebook message because I don't always see it, and I apologize. But I really read them.
What's the best way to reach you?
ThatManProducer@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now I'm the opposite. If you send me an email, there's a good chance it's going to be my slowest response time because spam, bullshit.
Twitter's better for you.
Oh, Twitter or any social media direct messaging.
Yeah, see now Twitter direct message would be better. If you want to do that, you can. That's just fine.
Twitter direct message. I'm also Facebook direct message is fine.
And if I'm not following you, I will just send if you want to send me a message. So do all that. Then
But if you want to respond to any business opportunities or aspects of this show, better to respond to Gene.
Yes.
So that it gets
just
done.
Some email. It'll get done.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you send it to me, all I'm going to do is forward it to her.
Yeah.
So it'll get done.
I just didn't want anybody to feel discouraged that means that they don't need my help if they didn't email me back.
Yeah. And that's another thing. It's funny because in the past, if a criticism I've gotten is that there's not enough, we can't get enough audience participation in the show. Now we have opportunities for the opportunity.
Yeah.
For the audience to participate.
Yeah.
Like the SMed lines.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to come up with new kind of, maybe like games or trivia or something.
Trying to get y'all more involved.
Yeah.
Yo.
So
we're listening. We hear what people say.
Yeah. We're coming up on the 4th year?
It'll be our 4th year.
Wow.
But that's not we'll get through the holidays first.
Yeah.
It's not until
February
it's
coming up,
or something.
Though. Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah. It is weird that our sort of season year happens just after the new year.
Ooh, healing vibes to Scott Schiaffo.
Oh yeah, we saw that.
We're not sure what's going on. He had some issues and went to the hospital.
I think he needs his batteries changed.
He may just need to, rest.
A couple new AA.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah. So
they need to wind up his spring.
We're keeping tabs, sending him a message. So, we're still waiting. So just keep him in your thoughts. Send out, positive messages.
Thoughts and prayers.
They
make fun of that so much.
Oh my God. Speaking of that, Chemda on Keith and the Girl, that picture, Chemda. And I even responded.
Yeah,
I'm
quick
like,
update for.
So hot.
I know we talk about her quite a bit. We talk about them because we enjoy their show, and when they do it 5 days a week, so it's become a part of my day for sure. But she gave birth, if you will,
to this huge tumor.
Which they finally were able to show. And it was like 15 centimeters long, and it was like 5 pounds or something like that, or I think it was more than something like that. It was maybe 15. 5 sticks out in my mind.
Right.
Could have been 25.
I think her tumor. I think it has its own Twitter page.
Yes, there is a tumor Twitter page. Some genius out there.
With talking.
Yeah, the talking.
I'm
tumor.
Good. I don't know what they're. Yeah. I'm good. Doing good.
That's like that's like Nugget. The Nugget accounts. Some of those are genius.
But she had her picture done. Who I can't even remember the photographer, but it's on her Facebook page. It's her Facebook profile page. Wow, she looks hot.
Okay,
Chemda. And she's got the little scar.
Yeah.
But she looks great.
Yeah.
I
wonder if she's pushing herself too hard, too fast.
Someone just had her. I mean, God, girl, you look awesome for just having your tumor removed.
And not only just having her tumor removed, having all those fucking tubes. Like a fucking week ago, she had a goddamn thing in her neck.
And her body and the way the shirt falls. I'm like, and her curls. I'm like, wow, pull it together.
What do you want? She just lost weight.
She did lose weight. She lost
5 pounds of tumor.
It had to have been more than that, but she looks good.
She lost some tumor weight.
Yeah, the tumor weight.
She lost that tumor weight.
Whatever it is.
It's like baby weight, tumor weight.
Yep.
And the good thing about tumor weight is you don't have to raise it.
No, you don't.
So.
But getting all that toxic shit out of you, really.
Yeah. Sure, improves your look on life. You're whistling Dixie all the way down the road there. You're a swell, fine fella.
And your tumor, too. No. Okay, well.
Yeah, like that's the end of the show. Like you see Andy Griffith and the tumor walking. And nobody, other than like the people in their 40s and older, know what the fuck we're talking about.
Any idea what's going on?
Yes.
But
Mayberry.
Camda,
RFD.
Camda, you look amazing. Keep feeling good, girl. Can't wait for
You go, girlfriend.
You go, girlfriend.
And speaking of girlfriends.
And Libby.
It's a good time to cut over to our friend, Miss Tesdy Groupie, with her, I believe, 93rd.
Wow.
Tesdy pick of the week. So, here she is with that. Just a few more weeks, we'll be able to be like, it's a hundy, baby.
It's a hundy. Yeah.
All right. So, but until then, here's 93. Keep it in your pants. Here she comes.
And now, ThatMan on Fatman presents a very Halloween edition of Dead E-Groupies Pick of the Week.
Hi, and welcome to the TSD Pick of the Week. It's that time of the year again. Yes, Q's favorite holiday is just around the corner. And we, in the TSD Pick section, are going to go along with it. We may not be going with the most recent episode, but we won't go that far back. Just something in between. Let's find it out as we get ready to talk about TSD 266, Emperor Flanagan. As we hit play, we know some awesome music is about to start the episode. And as always, J Sarge delivers with some great spooky music. Also, if you check the episode on SoundCloud, always the best link when a new episode drops, you can see a great TSD related Halloween drawing by @LookingFor8 on Twitter. The episode starts with general Halloween talk, because no episode would be the same without some offensive Halloween costume talk. Well, that and that the story is open. But when the story is closed, the guys turn the lights out, light candles, and get ready to celebrate. How? By bringing Chris from a metaphysical psychic book store in Red Bank. And he reads the cards for the guys. And if you know something about TSD, this is no ordinary reading. He also talks about paranormal experiences and why not to do the Ouija board. Grab your favorite Halloween costume, your favorite drink, set your room in a spooky mood, and get ready to laugh TSD style. Overdose, full, sad, everyone. And shame on you if you don't get that. So, I hope you will listen to it, I hope you enjoy it, and you're all the way.
Hi, kids! Hey, come over here, I got some jokes for you. They're gonna kill you. Hey, why did they put the fence around the cemetery? Because people were dying to get in. Hey, where you going? Come back! Hey, come on over, I got another joke for you. You're gonna die of laughter. This one always kills me. What do you call a witch at the beach? Give up? A sandwich! Sandwich, get it? Sandwich, don't mind if I do. I'll take a BLT. Oh, that one kills me.
And there you have Miss Testy Groupie's Pick of the Week for 93. And we appreciate you joining us this week. We hope you've enjoyed the last few weeks of shows. They've been a little more personal, a little more revealing. You know, like the wacky music from the last week. And
that was funny.
You know, now this week we're just kind of getting back to talking TV and pop culture and all that good stuff. So, anyway, we've also issued a call to action. So if you want to get involved in the show, please send Gene your information concerning possibly doing SMed lines, or what was the other thing we were... Oh, possibly maybe helping out with some production work in some way.
Some games or whatever.
Out, or maybe social media, or figure it out.
We have some things. I mean, we can see if anyone, wants to be involved in, different things. Just send me an email about what you like, what you do, and what you're into. And we'll do what we can.
We will. That might be too open a check. We might want to think about that. Well, anyway, yeah, too blanket check. All right, guys. Calm down. Within reason.
Not like that.
Yeah. Well, even still, people are like, well, I want you to do this with the show and turn it upside down and do it, dance
no
on your
spanking.
Heads and all this. And they, fucking do it nude and blah, blah, blah.
Now,
everybody's a fucking critic. If you just open the floodgates to blanket notes, we'll be up to our heads in them.
No. So. Serious inquiries only.
Yeah. And, well, enough of that crap. Why don't we get out of here?
Okay, guys.
All right. Like every week, you're smart and good, especially if you're listening to this dopey show. So we'll see you next week. We'll be back.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Else out there, and just why are we here? Then I see the world will turn, and we must be its guide. Crazy dreams and nonsense schemes, dawn comes, we must reply. Powers from our mother earth, they'll blow us to our knees. While our souls do bind as one, come join us if you please. If you please. Reading moments one by one and smirking like a thief. Sleeping through another night and deepening our peace. Genesis and matter's wake is coming from our sun. Living in this very moment, for this moment's done. Dawn will come and we are all its guide. Crazy dreams and nonsense schemes, the Godhead in the skies. Powers from our mother earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls do bind as one, come join us if you please. If you please. As we worship at our shrine, bursting flowers into bloom, there's no such thing as time. Powers from our mother earth will blow us to our knees. Twisting, turning minds are burning, join us if you please. And now I see that I am just beginning its demise. Flashing bits of time please. If you please.
There he is. It's that man standing over Blood Alley Square, protecting us all.
Well, if you've hung on all this long, we just want to thank you. You'll notice that we were completely oblivious to the holiday for the remainder of that show. So we wanted to put a little tag at the end of this show, essentially to scare the shit out of you diehards. So, with that in mind, we indeed want to say, Happy Halloween! And you're loathsome and frightening.
So far this semester, he has been absent 9 times.
Grace, fuck me and make me forget me got this stupid kid. Coming, Don. Oh, that makes it bad. Scambie Scott. Police are responding to Blood Alley Square. Where's that?
I know, like Canadian Batman.
I know. There he is. It's that man standing over Blood Alley Square, protecting us all.
Time to kick back, take some beers, and smoke some weed.
Hi, Liz.
I moved on her. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try. She was married.
Huge news there.
No, Nancy. No, this was... And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where there's some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch.
Now that is scary.
And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
She's your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes, the Donald escort. Oh, my man. Wait, you gotta look at me when you get out.
Grab him by the pussy. Grab him by the pussy. Look at you. I did try. She was married.
There's only one Tic Tac, the original Mouthwag.
I moved on her, and I failed.
Hur fast bätad, då fjällen